I live in Nashville right now, and I, at this point, have played for a lot of different songwriters at their writers' nights. So I thought I would make a video that I just share some of the tips that I've noticed will make certain songs stand out a bit more as far as the guitar part, and things that you can do to kind of make your song a little bit more creative as you are songwriting. I know for me, there's been a lot of times that I'll sit down and be about to write a song, and I'm just like, I've got nothing. Mine goes blank. And so we all, though, do have this creativity inside us that I think sometimes it just takes some tools to be able to express that, and some different things you can kind of pull from to say, okay, let's start here and maybe work from that. So let's jump into my very simple tips of things that you can add in to make your song a little bit more interesting. So the first thing that I think is just a fun way to just keep your playing exactly the same but add something interesting is capoing up really high. Might expose some intonation issues, but I'm just, for this example, gonna do like the 7th fret. This is something I've seen like Casey Musgraves do, like in like Slow Burn, and Ed Sheeran has done it. There's a lot of different writers that I've seen do this, and I just think it sounds really pretty. The next thing that I don't actually see a ton of people sometimes thinking about when it gets to the point of just writing a song on acoustic, and a lot of times I've noticed then they'll hire a guitarist that will add this in, but I think will just give you that creative control on the front end, is writing a signature lick for your song. It's very simple to do, and you can just think of a melody in your head, even if you are still working on like soloing or whatever, and just kind of play it out. But you know, you can work around the pentatonic scale, whatever, to develop this. So like, for example, if I'm playing, you know, let's just say I'm like thinking of something in my head and I'm just gonna play a little lick I'm just thinking of here. So very simple, like part of a solo. So even something like that, I think giving a signature lick helps your song be a little bit more catchy and stick in people's minds. It makes it feel like a little bit more complete and thought out. So that is my next tip. The next thing that you can do is make there be a bass part, and I think this works especially well for like the verses when it's kind of like down low and then doing a big chord in the chorus, or I guess you could do opposite, that could be cool too. So with this, like, you think about some of these big hits that have been through the ages. You think about like Owner of a Lonely Heart by Yes, Under Pressure, and the ones that go after that. And then, you know, you think about even Royals by Lorde, what a throwback. Those songs, they have this kind of cool like bassy part in them, and then a lot of them pick up on the chorus. So like, here's an example of one I'm just gonna think of here, like all day a lot, like Owner of a Lonely Heart. And then you could go into like a big chord. It just gives it a bit of that contrast, and I think things like that can be really good in kind of making people turn around and maybe stop what they're doing and actually look at you, especially if you are playing some kind of a show or at a restaurant that no one's paying attention to you. So that is my next tip. My last tip is adding in things that you're learning and writing a song around that. So I think that anytime I've learned a new chord or just a cool little guitar trick or like a different chord voicing, it's been cool, because if you just add that one thing in, you'll start noticing all these songs that you're like, oh, they use that in their song. So just kind of adding that in, I think that also cements a lot of guitar concepts in your mind. So for example, I remember when I first learned this little voicing that's around G, but it's really open, like 3rd fret of the E string and 3rd fret of the B. So. like that, I think just can be different little adds, and they make it sound like you're not just doing these cowboy chords in your song. So there's my tips, short and sweet. I think the biggest thing to remember is you have everything it takes to write good songs and make really great guitar parts. Even if you are still working on your guitar playing, it's a lot more in your head than you think and naturally there. So it's just gonna be more about how you can draw that out and start slowly learning little ideas to incorporate into your songwriting. So thank you guys so much for watching, and have an amazing rest of your day.